Hello Capricorn, this is a timeless reading for you, starting with the card Weight, followed by Sustainability, Healing, Creativity, Growth, Barrenness. So there are a lot of positive and fertile cards in your reading. Yet we have the card Weight. Waiting is something that we usually don't really like. Barrenness is also one of those not so nice cards. And especially at the bottom of the deck we have Resistance. And I feel like, I don't know, there is something so contradictive here, but it feels right that this reading is this way. You might feel very contradictive or have very opposing energies that you are feeling inside of you. And I feel like on one hand, this waiting, you know it is necessary. While you are waiting, you can see that something is growing, that you can save something. Like you're saving time, you're saving money. I don't know, you can literally watch the rain pour down into some kind of storage, and you know, okay, you just have to wait, and then you will have a lot of water for the dry times. Like there is something sustainable. And you know this waiting is necessary. This is a process. You don't have to do anything. You just have to watch a certain process until it's done. While you are waiting, your body is coming to rest, which is also very necessary for you at the moment, if you know it or not. Even your emotions and your mind are healing in a weird way, because this whole resistance within you is streaked through your whole reading. Like I feel this is your energy. And even though you know there is growth and you know this waiting is necessary, you don't like it. And you might be aware that this doesn't make sense, but it's just what you feel. Could also be that you're going through a phase where you seemingly have a lot of bad luck, or small things don't work out like all the time. Like everything feels like it's a bad timing for you. There could be some bigger things happening as well, but I don't feel that for everyone too strongly here, like that there is a huge catastrophe headed towards you, or, you know, a huge drama or painful loss. It feels like more like a lot of smaller things. Like whenever you have to leave the house, it starts raining, and when you get back, the rain stops. And constantly something is falling down to the floor, something is taking longer than usually, like all these annoying things. Could also be that you're coming out of such a phase, having to wait somewhere, and finally you can calm down, reflect on things, and just watch things unfold without you having to do something. And this could be a teaching here as well. If you are someone who is a doer, who is all the time obsessed with structure, order, control, doing things, being productive. If this becomes too much, you know, sometimes life has to force us to step back, and sometimes life is not against us, but it feels like it is, and it constantly throws these things into our lives, so we are forced to stop somewhere. So this healing here is very important as well. And as I said, like it could be that you were ignoring something in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, or in all of these levels, and now you're being forced to heal. Creativity, whether you feel like you have artistic talent or not, doesn't matter. You can also be creative in non-artistic ways. By the way you cook, you could, I don't know, invent some kind of machine or build some kind of furniture. Like, there are so many ways we can be creative in so many fields. You could find a creative solution to something, but it will only come during this time of waiting, which you do not like. You are very resistant to being passive and waiting and sitting around. But I feel like as soon as this resistance, this constant pressure to be productive, as soon as this passes, there will be a creative idea born without you having to force it. And there will be growth. I feel like there already is a lot of growth that you are not seeing. Yet, very contradictive, we have the barrenness card. And as soon as I saw this card, I felt triggered. I felt a lot of resistance here. And it didn't make sense to me. And maybe that's what it just is. Maybe there is something in your life that is growing and you can witness it. You have to acknowledge it. Maybe there's a huge thing that has grown due to your efforts and you don't even see it. Maybe you are playing it down in front of yourself and it's time for you to recognize this growth. Yet next to it, there is this barrenness card, could indicate that in another field of your life something is not growing. I'm also getting that this dry and barren ground here, this could be your own resistance. And that feels so contradictive. Like, on one hand, you want this growth, you want this huge effect, this huge product of your efforts to show, that at the same time there is a deep resistance towards this result, or a deep resistance to acknowledging your talent or something, or what you have already established. Like, this is so weird. On one hand, you are dreaming of this big success, and yet you are super scared of it. And this resistance is like this barren ground. But the positive aspect of the barrenness card is that there is a small growth. This plant is so much smaller than this. But this plant has grown under such horrible conditions. It might look smaller than this one, but it might be much stronger, much more significant than this one. This plant has earth, probably had sunlight and water, all the right components to make it grow really big. This one had only sun. It had dry earth, no water. It grew in the desert ground. Almost impossible that something ever grew there. So this is the good thing about this card. And this ground is your resistance. And I feel like you will soon figure out why you have this resistance inside of yourself. And then the end is open. So this is not a negative reading, it's actually a quite positive reading. But as I said in the beginning, there are two opposing energies, feelings going on inside of you. And all this positivity, this sustainability, the healing, the creativity, the growth, this is so nice to have these cards. Everything is, in a weird way, a little bit underlined by this resistance, by your own resistance. And I feel like this is your task to figure out why you have this resistance. You might not even be aware yet. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.